I am a nerd. And I'm not a little nerd. I'm a giant nerd. And it's not about something you're thinking of. I am a giant nerd for Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. And I am such a nerd that I read variations of the book Pride and Prejudice, where authors make small tweaks or huge tweaks to the story and then publish them, and I get to enjoy them. You didn't even know that was a thing, did you? And I am such a nerd that I created the Pride and Prejudice Book Club podcast, where my co-host and I discuss variations of the book Pride and Prejudice. And after 160 episodes, we have a lot more to go. And I am such a nerd about that I created a TikTok channel where I recommend variations of Pride and Prejudice to other people. I am a nerd. Now, when I started on this adventure, it was just because I genuinely enjoy reading Pride and Prejudice, and when I discovered that variations were a thing, I could not stop. And my husband reached the point where he's like, "You need to talk to somebody, honey." And it needs to not be me. And so I went on Facebook and discovered there are other people like me. And if you go on Amazon, there are hundreds of these things. And when I released my first TikTok video, I thought maybe 5 people will see it. My husband's got 2 accounts. That's at least going to count for something. But thousands of views later, I've realized I've connected to something I didn't realize was out there. And I remember the time that the first of many comments said, "I have found my people." Have you ever felt that? Yeah. Just on this stage today, we've had at least 3 people say, "I have found my people." That connection is amazing. When we are passionate about something and then we share it with someone else, that connection brings us alive. And have you ever been so passionate about something that you created a business around it? Anyone? Nerds. Now, I have a confession. I am also a nerd for something else, and that is marketing. Yeah. Giant nerd again. And in my almost 20 years of working in marketing, I found something that's pretty interesting to me. And I'm going to paraphrase my good friend Jane Austen. It is a truth, universally acknowledged, that an entrepreneur in possession of a business they are passionate about must feel miserable marketing it. Anyone relate? Anyone? Okay. All right, so I'm talking to the right crowd here. People feel miserable. And yet it's something that if I was to sit down at this table right now and ask you about what it is you're nerdy about, that business, whether it be connection, networking, breath work, nutrition, I bet we could talk for hours and you'd still be excited. And yet when it comes to marketing, suddenly we feel icky. We feel like we're pushing a boulder uphill. Don't make me do it, Emily. Please don't make me market my business. And it's because we feel like we're manipulating people. We're using tricks to get them to give us money. It's not pure like your love. And I think in our heads, we really do picture that stereotypical 1970s used car salesman who's gonna sell a lemon to that cute little family, and they're gonna be driving home and it's gonna break down and it's gonna be raining and the little girl's gonna be sitting outside of the car and she's gonna be crying and it's gonna be your fault. But that's not what marketing is. Marketing is about connection. It's about connecting what you have to someone who needs it. It's not just about finding your people, it's about them finding you. And if you can truly help someone, isn't it selfish to hide away and not let them know that you have it? Okay, Emily. I get it. I'm supposed to be marketing. But I don't know where to start. What do I do? Well, first of all, let's look at expanding what we think marketing is. Because what is marketing? Somebody just tell me, like, aside from connection, I just told you that, but like, let's talk methods, strategies. What's marketing?
Making your service or product known.
Okay, making it known. Someone said SEO. Well, it's email marketing, right? Social media. Ooh, social media. That old chestnut. I've been hearing about social media for about 20 years. And you know, it really was exciting when it came out. Everyone's getting on it. It became explosive for businesses. You could, for the first time, connect with people outside of your area cheaply and easily. From Virginia, I could sell websites to people in Oregon. And somebody in Canada could tweet at the Queen in England. It was amazing the amount of connection we could have. Has anyone ever had a blog? Okay, blog. Has anyone ever had a blog and then stopped having a blog? Okay. Why do we stop? Got nothing out of it. I'm creating content. Anyone else get a chill up their spine? Creating content, and I'm getting nothing out of it. And that's because we started focusing on content and not on connection. And social media is the same thing. If we're just putting things out because we're supposed to be on social media, number one, it's not effective, and number two, it's draining. It's not exciting to you. But if you were to write a blog post that genuinely answers questions that your customers have that would make their life better, not only do you have a piece of content that you can put on social media and search engine terms for search engine optimization that Google can then find, you can also email it to your clients to help them. You can refer to your potential clients to it so they know what it's like to work with you. You can repurpose it. And I know these words we've all heard, content, repurpose, post, all of it. But we got to go back to why are we doing it? I went to an event last year where there was a speaker. She asked me what I did, and I said, I'm in marketing. And she goes, oh, I am so bad at marketing. I get all of my business from referrals. I just wanted to grab her by the shoulders and say, that is the best form of marketing you could have. Other people are telling this person they should buy from you. Talk about connection. Dave told a wonderful story about Zappos. And when we were discussing it yesterday, he said, oh, they don't invest in marketing. They only invested in customer service. Marketing, creating connection. And you know, in my head, the first act of marketing was when Eve turned to Adam and said, this fruit's pretty good. Would you like a bite? First testimonial. When we focus on connection, we don't get caught up in our heads, and it's not as boring. And the most important piece of connection you really need is to yourself. You need to be honest about what it is that you're excited about and what things that you can do that keep your energy high, because we know that energy is a precious resource. If you deplete your energy, even if you have time and money, you're still going to burn out, fade out, or rage quit. And I don't want anyone to do that. So what do? We follow the fun. Think about those things that do light you up. If you like to talk as much as possible. Talk about your topic as much as possible. That could be on podcasts, videos, in person, hot seats, workshops. If you love to write, lean into that on social media. It does still work, but only when the content is real, when it's creating that connection, when you're saying things that will help someone else or that show that you are human. Because you may have heard of this little thing called AI. Anybody heard of that one? Okay. I get a lot of questions from people about how's AI going to change marketing? It's only changing the tools that we use, and the ways that we connect are going to continue to evolve. And I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's going to happen next. No one would have predicted social media before it happened. But I do know that what's not going to change is that it's going to be about connection. How can we show that we're a real person? Because if everyone on social media now has a power tool that brings their writing up, if it's just about the quality of writing, that's now been leveled out. But the connection, the personality, the life behind the writing, the mind and the creativity behind the writing, AI can't touch that. This is going to be controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. Marketing can and should be fun. Thank you, Dave. Marketing should be fun. And if it's not fun for you right now, I just challenge you to take a look at what kind of activities are you doing. And I know some of you may have a marketing team or people that you outsource things to, but ultimately, as a coach, a consultant, an entrepreneur, you have to decide which direction are we going? What are we going to focus on? Where's that human element? Because if you're just creating content, you're not connecting. But I know that you can. Because as I'm standing here in this room after hearing so many amazing speakers today, I love hearing what everyone's a nerd about. And when you put yourself out there, when you stop hiding, you're going to find that there's other nerds out there too. And someday, you may find yourself in a room where not only have you found your people, but your people have found you. Thank you. Thank you.